Hello students, I, Mrs. Ashwini Talavlikar, Food and Beverage Service Faculty from Dr. D.Y. Patil, IHM City, Tathode, Pune, will be explaining one of the chapters designed under the course CEB 701 Specialization in Food and Beverage Services and Management 2. Today, we shall be studying Chapter 4 Principles and Practices of Food Controlling. The contents covered under this chapter are Introduction, the essentials of control system, calculation of food cost, methods of food control, and food control checklist. In the introduction, we shall be covering the objectives, obstacles, and limitations of food cost control. The main objectives of food cost control are analysis of income and expenditure. Analysis of income and expenditure is concerned with income and expenditure related to food and beverage operations. The revenue analysis is usually done by each selling outlet of such aspects as the volume of food and beverage sales, the sales mix, and the average spending power of customers at various times of the day. The analysis of costs includes departmental food and beverage cost, portion cost, and labor cost. The performance of each outlet can be then expressed in terms of gross profit, the net margin, and the net profit. The second objective of food cost control is establishment and maintenance of standards. The basis for the operation of any food and beverage outlet is establishment of a set of standards which would be particular to an operation. For example, a chain of burger house restaurants. Unless the standards are set, no employee would know in detail the standards to be achieved, nor could the employee's performance be effectively measured by management. An efficient unit has the set standards laid down in manuals, often known as SOPs, Standard Operating Procedures, which should be readily available to all staff for reference. Having set the standards, a difficult problem always for the management of an operation is to maintain these standards. This can be aided by observation, analysis, and by comments made by customers, and when necessary, conducting training courses to re-establish the standards. The third objective of food cost control is pricing. An important objective of food beverage control is to provide a sound basis for menu pricing, including quotations for special functions. It is therefore important to determine food menu and beverage list prices in the light of accurate food and beverage cost and other main establishment costs, as well as general market considerations such as average customer spending power, the prices charged by competitors, and the prices that the market will accept. The next objective is prevention of waste. In order to achieve performance standards for an establishment, targets are set for revenue, cost levels, and profit margins. To achieve these levels of performance, it is necessary to prevent wastage of materials caused by such things as poor preparation, overproduction, failure to use standard recipes, etc. This can be done with an efficient method of control which covers the complete cycle of food and beverage control, from the basic policies of the organization to management control after the event. The next objective is prevention of fraud. It is necessary for a control system to prevent or at least restrict the possible areas of fraud by customers and staff. Typical areas of fraud by customers are deliberately walking out without paying, unjustifiably claiming that the food was unpalatable and indicating that they will not pay for it, disputing the number of drinks served, or making payments by stolen checks or credit cards. Typical areas of fraud by staff are overcharging or undercharging for items served and stealing of food, drink or cash. The last objective of food control is management information. A system control has an important task to fulfill in providing accurate, up-to-date information for the preparation of periodical reports for management. This information should be sufficient so as to provide a complete analysis of performance for each outlet of an establishment for comparison with set standards previously laid down. We shall now discuss the special problems of food and beverage control. The first main problem is perishability of the produce. Food, whether raw or cooked, is a perishable commodity and has a limited life. The caterer has to ensure that he buys produce in the correct quality and quantity in relation to the estimated demand, and that it is correctly stored and processed. The second problem is the unpredictability of the volume of business. Sales instability is typical of most catering establishments. There is often a change in the volume of business from day to day and in many establishments from hour to hour. This causes basic problems with regard to the quantities of commodities to be purchased and prepared as well as to the staffing required. The third problem is the unpredictability of the menu mix. In order to be competitive and satisfy a particular market, it is often necessary to offer wide choice of menu items to the customers. It is therefore necessary to be able to predict not only the number of customers who will be using the facility at a particular period of time, but as to what the customer selection will be from the alternatives offered on a menu. It is seldom possible to be 100% accurate. The next problem is the short cycle of operations. The speed at which catering operations take place relative to many other industries allows little time for many control tasks. It is not uncommon that items ordered one day are received, processed and sold on the same or very next day. It is for this reason that in large establishments, cost reporting is done daily or at least weekly. Further problems, particularly with perishable foods, are that with a short life for produce, items cannot be brought very much in advance of their need. And the problem of availability at times of produce relative to the price that can be afforded in relation to the selling price. The last problem is departmentalization. Many catering establishments have several production and service departments offering different products and operating under different policies. It is therefore necessary to be able to produce separate trading results for each of the production and selling activities. The limitations of a control system are: a control system in itself will not cure or prevent problems occurring. An effective system is dependent upon correct up-to-date policies and operational procedures, but the system should identify problems and trends in business. A control system will require constant management supervision to ensure that it functions efficiently. A control system will need management action to evaluate the information produced and to act upon it. We shall now understand the essentials of a control system. Any control system should be comprehensive and cover all outlets of an establishment and all stages of the food control cycle. The cost of maintaining the system should be in relation to the saving to be made. The control system should be easy to operate and it should be understood by all levels of staff. The control system should be seen by staff to be working. That is, the management act in positive way to adverse trading results and follow up on future results to check if the corrective action taken is effective. To be effective, the information produced must be accurate and up to date.